Yeah, so as I was saying, every when it comes to the financial market, it is backed by an economy. Or when it comes to the currency market is backed by an economy. Okay, so we have major participants that move the market. So especially when it comes to the currency market, participant that mostly moves the market the banks, okay, the hedge funds, the big institutions. Okay, it can be individuals who trace huge, who transact or who mostly deals in what huge funds. That person too can also have what influence on the movement of price. So one mistake I've seen a lot of people doing is what they don't pay attention to the time of the day. Okay, the market, for you to be successful in this market, it is not only about you understanding how to draw the lines, how to draw the vertical lines, that your trading strategy. That is not what moved the market. We mostly apply those things because we've studied the pattern of the market, and mostly when it happens like that, it's kind of it plays out according to what you're expecting. But that is not the factors that moves the market. That's why sometimes we lose. Okay, that's why sometimes our analysis fails. Sometimes you can be trading a certain pattern for the past days, and if you start a time is going to come that when you start executing that pattern, it's going to fail. That is something it is something that should remind you that the market is not something that moved in a rigid direction every time. You get to certain times it will fail. So a lot of people, especially beginners, are not even aware of the time of the day. They are not even aware of the time of the day. They don't pay attention to the times and seasons when it comes to trading. It is not only about our technical analysis. It is not only about our lines we draw on the chart. The market is moved, it mostly moves in a specific direction. So don't try to when there was no major market activities, okay, there was no major market activities, you try to go and trade, you are going to definitely going to lose, or you are going to pay a lot for you to get a counterparty. Okay, so let's take our local market an example. The times that most people are not in the market, what is going to happen? Let's say you've gone to those in Accra can relate to this thing. You've gone to Mokola by this time to go and buy something because you don't have a lot of people in Mokola by this time, market women, or people transacting. If you are going to search for something, it's going to be very difficult for you to get someone to buy from. So even if you get someone, what's going to happen? The price is going to what? Increase. The reason is what? The person is having monopoly. He's the only one what having that particular thing, and you are also in need of that thing at that time. So what is going to happen is what? Prices are going to increase. You get it? So it's the same thing when it comes to the market too. In the market too, if there was no major market activities, you are going to pay a lot for your brokers to find you a counterparty. You get it? So you need to pay attention to the times you trade. It is very, very important. So that's why last time in the mentorship that I was telling you about people trying to execute trades during the weekends. Okay, during the weekends, those who move, the major market participants are not active in the market. They are enjoying their weeks. If you want to trade during the weekends, then go and trade the synthetic market. That is with that one, it is not backed by anything. It moves anytime. That's fine. But if you are trading the forex market, you need to understand that the forex market or the commodity market, the stock market, the time that you trade plays what a major role when it comes to you profiting from this market. You need to pay attention to. If you are not going to pay attention to the times of the day, you are going to lose a lot. Okay, you are going to lose, and you might be saying, "Oh, you've done everything right. Oh, your analysis was on point. This time you executed, but you executed at the wrong timing." You get it? Those people who are going to move price were not available. And what is going to happen is what? You are going to get people who are going to manipulate the market. Those people are going to what? Manipulate the market, and your pattern that you've seen it happening more often is not going to play out this time. So you need to understand that the time that you trade plays a role when it comes to what? you profiting from the market. So pay attention to. So me, I've already, so those who have followed me for some time now, I've always been giving the times that I mostly trade. Okay, I always give the times that I mostly trade. When it comes to currencies, gold, mostly from my experience and how I've been witnessing the movement of gold, mostly gold kind of it's respect the times of the day too, but gold is kind of sometimes it goes opposite of it goes opposite of what I'm telling you. Okay, you can be seeing major moves even normal times. But when it comes to you trading currencies, okay, the major currencies and what the minor currencies, the times that you trade, okay, when it is daylight savings, I start trading like 6 a.m. to what 3:30, then the volume start dying. Okay, what I'm trying to mean is what those major market participants, those who are going to move price, are what not going to be present at that particular time. Okay, so what is going to be happening is what? So you see something like this, that's what you are going to be seeing. So we had a direction that you see BTC during the weekend. This was a nice setup that if it was a active market session, the chances that price is going to move is very high. But because the major market participants were not available, what happened is what you see the consolidation. This tells you that there was no what major market, there was no enough people in the market, or you don't have a lot of people trading the market. People are not buying and selling. So what's going to be happening is what you see price is going to be moving up and down, up and down. So the time of the day, don't just wake up at any random time because you had a bad dream. So you think trading, you are going to trade to maybe kill those fear and those things. Please avoid that. Okay, so sometimes I do get a nice trade setup. Sometimes I do get a nice pattern based on how I execute trades. I do get some nice pattern outside my trading session. What do? I don't trade. By those times when I was trying to explore, I will be trading that and I will lose at the end. But when I got experience, when I traded the market for a very long time, I noticed that it is not only about the technical analysis. I know a lot of people are kind of what they are striving for is technical. They've ignored the other parts of what is going to make them profit. The time of the day, please pay attention to is very very important. The time of the day is very very important, and pay attention to seasons. Okay, pay attention to seasons. If there was bank holiday, don't execute. One thing you're going to experience is what the spread brokers are going to charge you high for you to execute, for you to what, for them to find a counterparty for you. Okay, one thing you need to understand is what in trading, and when it comes to currency, as you are buying, someone who needs to take the opposite side of your trade. So what your brokers does is what they stand
Yo,
as an intermediate, and what they found you what a
Okana.
counterparty. They find you what a counterparty. You get it. So if a lot of people are not in the market, it's going to be very difficult for your brokers to find you a counterpart. Let's say maybe I'm buying BTC. Okay, I need to have someone who is also having USD so that maybe I will exchange my BTC with the person. But if now the brokers are finding it difficult to find someone who is having the USD who is willing to also receive BTC in returns, it's going to be very difficult for your brokers to. If it becomes very difficult for your brokers to find, then what's going to happen is what? What's going to happen is what? They have to charge you high for them to maybe find someone for you. That's what you need to understand. So the times of the time and seasons are very important when it comes to you trading the currency market, when it comes to you trading commodities, especially when it comes to the indices too as well. The indices like the Nasdaq, the US 30, and those they moved well during the New York Stock Exchange session, because you need to understand that they are all what they are group of, maybe when it comes to Nasdaq is like tech companies, like returns. Okay, if I'm getting it right. So they moved during the New York, and you know the mostly the US companies mostly start operating during the New York Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange session. That's when they start major, that's when they start what, making transaction. So that's when the Nasdaq and the US 32 move. So if you are doing your back testing, you will notice that uh Nasdaq mostly moves during the what moves you see major movement during the New York Stock Exchange session. You get it. So if you are not paying attention to the times, if it is weekend, please rest. Okay, if you are trading currencies, or don't force things to happen during the weekends. Rest and what reflect on how your trading week went. Don't be forcing things to happen. If you are going to be trading the synthetic of the volatility index too, that's fine. But if you are trading currencies and commodities, please kindly what rest and pay attention. And when it is active market session, to pay attention to the times of the day. It is also important. Am I right? Have I answered your question? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. Any question again? Any question again? Hmm. Yeah, so someone was on my neck trying to, and the person is not available. Let me check the
Yeah,
person's.
yeah, Pa.
Okay,
Please let me ask this question. So you were talking about the timings of the day as being careful and then being vigilant about it. Back then or some time ago, not too long ago, in fact, people I've been hearing people talk about that, and then myself, I didn't find so much meaning into that. Like it didn't resonate with me. Excuse me to say, I didn't make sense out of that. But gradually, I realized that people kept saying it, and then people have this weird time, and some people can mention exact timings. Then it also gets to me, and then I feel like, nah, how can you just tell me that this, even the trade itself is not certain? Then you're able to tell me times also that there are major moves going to happen. It just keeps like, I mean, confusing me and then
So
permits me to say,
what do you trade? What assets class do you trade?
so I do currencies and then few metals like gold.
Yeah, so that's why I gave exception. When it comes to currencies, timing is very, very important. So those who have traded with me have you've all witnessed or you all experienced something of that sort before. So let me give you an example, and you can start witnessing what I'm trying to say. When it comes to currencies, one thing I've observed is what with the time that you are currently in. Okay, so during November, the time will change. The time that lending opens is going to change. But the time that you are currently in, when it is maybe pre-lending session, maybe from if I'm in Ghana, okay, I'm in Ghana, so I'm going to use Ghana as an example. If I'm in Ghana, okay, from five, maybe if the market is trending heavily during the Asian session to pre-lending session, you see the market is trending well. But when we are about to be ushered into active pre-lending session like 6 a.m. approaching or heading towards the lending session, which is 7 a.m., you notice that the market will start pulling back. It is something that I've experienced. I've experienced it with my student. I remember one time, I don't know whether Brainy is here. He entered a trade. Okay, he entered a trade and he was in profit. That was pre-lending session. And when you head to the active pre-lending session, like an hour to what the active market lending session, he noticed that the market was doing huge pullback. Okay, it started doing huge pullback before the major distance started moving in his direction. So one thing is what if the pullback is coming and you are not like fortunate, the market might come and stop you out and later start moving in your direction. So for me, even if I get a nice setup, I've even with those things, I've even been missing a lot of opportunities with that. Okay, if though it is not an hour to lending session when I'm trading currencies, there's no way you see me executing. I'll just observe unless maybe it is what 1 hour to what lending session. The reason why I'm saying 1 hour is what I could have given the specific time because I could have given the specific time, but one thing is what the times changes. Okay, when we get to November, I think the first week of November or so, the time is going to change. The time that lending session opens is going to be now 8 a.m. Now it opens at 7 a.m. But November to February or so, it's going to be distance 8 a.m. So the pre-lending session is going to start at 7 a.m. Okay, so when it happens like that, I'm going to be executing at 7 a.m. But currently, before I will execute a trade on currencies or even on gold, I know some people are not going to, but for me, based on my experience, most of the things that I teach is based on my experience. It is not a YouTube video that I watch. I have time for the market. That's what I do every day. Every single day I'm on the chat. So I know the moves of the market, and everything that I'm telling you is something that I've witnessed. It's not something that someone told me about it. Okay, so you can also start you can start witnessing, or you can start observing something of that sort, or something that what I'm telling you now. Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
I
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I heard all what you said. Thank you very much.
yeah. Well, what are you confused on?
Please come again.
You were saying you are confused on. Some people were
Oh no,
saying
I
weird
mean
time.
it was you are also repeating something that I've been battling with. In
Yeah.
fact, I was on watching YouTube. I was saying that, sorry to say that, I was watching Habi's video with Q Banks, and then Q Banks also made mention of same thing about some timing. Please,
Yeah,
I'm
Cuban's
coming.
trading this is
Yeah,
so timing
about
is
some
very
time,
important.
about some timing, and then I realized that then it should be something I should consider and then be serious about.
But are you profitable with what you are doing now?
Yeah, yeah,
So
not
why
bad.
do you want to change? If you are profitable, then keep on doing. Why do you want to
No, I
change?
mean, hearing about paying attention to various timings in the market, then I
Nah,
believe I
trading
might.
is there was no one has found it. No one has found it or when it comes to trading. So if you are doing something and the thing is working for you, you are making profit. Like maybe you've done it for a very long time and you keep on making money, because the end goal when it comes to trading is profit. Are you making money? So if you are doing something and the thing is making you money, why do you want to stop? Okay, but for me, what I'm saying is what when I was not paying attention to, I used to be losing. Okay, I used to be losing. So why do I
Mm,
even stop?
yeah.
Why do I even stop trading? Maybe Monday lending session, because of when I checked my data, I noticed that Monday mornings it's kind of not good with me. So I stopped. Some people are doing it and they are making money on Monday mornings. That's cool with them. So it's all about doing something that's if you are doing something and it's making you money, why do you want to stop? It's not about
Okay.
me saying it. If you
Okay.
think what you are doing, the times that you are trading, you don't pay attention to times and it's making you money, and you've done it for so trading is all about longevity. Have you done it for long and is it still working for you? If you have done it for long and it's still working for you, why do you want to stop? Because someone said it, because a guru on the internet uh, is talking about. No one has found it or in trading. Everyone is doing what is working for him. Okay. So if it is working for you, keep on doing it. Don't stop.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Any
All
question?
right, boss. So I have one more.
Okay.
All right. So my question is that how are we going to identify fundamentals like the NFP, the CPI? How are we going to know that this CPI is going to affect USD or USD pair, SSS USD pairs is going to buy, or USD SSS pairs are going to also buy? How will we know? How are we going to, how are we going to read fundamentals in our favor? That's my question. Please, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I was
Hello,
drinking.
sir.
I can hear you. I was drinking water. Yeah. So with your question,
All right.
in trading, in trading, there's nothing like certainty. That's what you need to understand. There's nothing like
Okay.
certainty. There's nothing like no. It's belief. You get it? So there was difference between no and believe. No means what? The president
Okay.
I know the president of Ghana is John Dramani Mahama. I know. Okay, it is not something like I'm not certain. I know.
Okay.
So known is
Okay.
what? Certain. And when it
Okay.
comes to believe, I believe Jesus Christ came on this earth. Okay, I'm a believer. There was no certainty.
Okay.
Based on what I heard, okay, so maybe 50-50 chance. So it's the same thing in trading. Trading, there was no, we don't have anything like no. What you have in trading is what believe.
Okay.
Christians are believers. They believe Jesus Christ. No one know Jesus Christ existed. We believe. We came on this earth. No one believed Muhammad. No one knows Muhammad. We believed. You get it. So when it comes to trading too, we believe. There's nothing like no. So you have to remove that perception. Like no, how can I know? Okay, so we have some factors that we pay attention to or consider. We have data that have been given to us. So we analyze the data and make a prediction and or speculate. You get me right? We analyze the
Okay.
data and make a speculation. So no
Sure.
one knows. Okay, maybe unless maybe you are an internal this thing. You have some people that they know, but those people are kind of, you can't tell me what do you call it? uh, is it Jerome, the head of the Fed, okay, doesn't know what's the interest rates. Either they are going to cut rates or they are going to hike rates. He knows, okay, he knows. Okay, so those people they are kind of they knows what is happening, but we like we that retailers we don't know what's going to happen unless maybe you are part of the this thing the top you are on top those people insiders the insiders knows what's happening. Okay, so if you are retail traders you don't know what is going to happen. So based on the data given to us, based on past history or past data, what happened, okay, when it comes to CPI, you consider maybe the inflation, what is happening, how retail sales is making, okay, then if retail sales is high, the chances that people are buying more things, okay, and if people are buying more things, what happens is what maybe there was more money in the pockets of people. So what's going to happen? What CPI data might increase or might hike. You get it. So we
Yeah.
bring all these pieces together, then we make an assumption unless it has happened before you will know that or maybe CPI is going to be what is going the data is the numbers is going to be high. So what's going to happen is what the dollar too is also going to what to be strengthened. You get it. So it does nothing like no. So you can use Forex Factory to also make your prediction, or you can also make an assumption on what is going to happen. You use Forex Factory. Yeah, so we have Forex Factory over here.
Okay. Okay.
I hope you know Forex Factory.
Sure. Yeah, I know Forex Factory. I've been using it for some time now.
Yeah. So maybe on Tuesday we are going to be having Canadian CPI. Okay. So you read this data, you consider the previous with the forecast. This is the data that has been given. So the previous was 0.3%, and the forecast was this what analysts this is what happened the previous month. This is what happened
Okay.
in the
The
previous month.
previous month.
Okay. And this is what, based
Okay.
on data gathered, this is what analysts, this is what traders, this is what speculators are anticipating to be happening. Okay. But this is not actual. This is not actual. Actual hasn't been released yet, unless the time is due before it will be
Yeah.
released. So what's going to happen is what, based on this data that has been given to us, this is what we are going to use it to make an assumption. Okay, so considering this 0.3, that means the previous was what 0.3. Now they are expecting 0.1. That means what the numbers are what low. They are expecting low numbers. Traders, analysts are expecting low numbers. And if they are expecting low numbers, when it comes to CPI, CPI is an inflation data. Okay. And inflation, when it
Okay.
comes to, in the eyes of what? In the eyes of investors, inflation is something good. Why is it good? It is good because it is going to trigger the central bank to what? It's going to trigger the central bank to what? Hike rates. Okay. Because I've always been saying this thing. The only way the government can take money from the pocket of the citizens is to bring in policies or bring in to bring in policies that will what interest more people to what love to save other than to spend. So what's the government going to do for people to save other than to spend? Okay, or other than to be taking loans, is to increase the rate. If now the rate on fixed deposit is, maybe you are every month you are getting 50% on fixed deposit, will you love to, you will not even love to even trade, you will not even love to spend, you will love to what, you save. You get it? So that's the ways that the
Invest.
government can take money from the citizens. So if CPI is high, inflation is going to be high. Okay, if inflation is high, what's going to happen is what, the central bank needs to what, increase rates to also what, to take money from the pocket of people. So inflation is good. CPI, if the numbers are high, it is good because the central bank is going to what, hike rates. And if the central bank hike rates, people will love to save, people will love to invest in the economy. So the country currency is going to be strong. You get it? So these are some of the pieces that we bring
Okay.
together to anticipate what is going to be happening. No one should no, don't let anyone tell you, that any guru on the internet tell you that I know what is going to happen. They all what use the data that has been given to what, make an assumption unless it has happened. But because sometimes too it is you can easily see what's going to be happening based on what the data that has been released, or based on the data that has been released, the retail sales, the PPI and those things. Maybe if all these data happen before the CPI is released, you can get a high what clue on what CPI is going to be doing. You get, but there's nothing like there's you don't have 100% certainty on what's going to happen.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got you. I got you, boss. Very
yeah,
much. I really appreciate that.
yeah. Okay.
Uh, that's two things now.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So please, will you put it on your YouTube channel? Yeah. Thank you for your recording. I'm carrying that work. I would like to watch it again. Okay. Yeah. So any question again? Someone was on. Who was this girl? I've forgotten her name. I'm with you. Please, if you have any question, what's the name of this girl? Let me check if I'll see the name of this person. Hope Win. What's the name of Hope Win? Is it Hope Win or what? Yeah, Hope Win. So he's not here. She's not here. All right. Okay. Any question again? Yeah, Steve, you can talk.
I'm
Steve.
here. Oh.
Yeah, so I'm listening. You said you have a question. Steve, you can talk. You've raised up your hand.
Hello. Please, I'm a beginner to the forex market, and I wanted to find out if you could still go over with the market structure
Yeah,
because I'm
so
still
yeah,
having.
so those who are new, okay. You see, I'm currently going to be having a boot camp at the end of this month. So, if you want to join, okay, it's an opportunity for you to join. One thing, someone tested me about this thing that please, there are a lot of strategies out there, SMC, ICT, this, a lot. Okay, so trading is like when it comes to mathematics. I remember when you were in SHS, back in SHS, you were told like when it comes to mathematical questions, we have short formula and what long formula. So it's the same thing when it comes to trading. You predicting the market, we are having thousands of ways you can use to predict the market. You get it? So if you are a beginner and you are not yearning for education, you are trying to do things yourself, it's going to be very long, and your journey is going to be, you are going to lose a lot on your way before you find out. You get it? So the best way is to educate yourself on this thing. I always preach about this thing. People would love to fund their accounts than educating themselves. This is not a get rich quick scheme. The moment you understand how to read the direction of the market, sometimes you'll be there and you just be like, wow. So, like, you have a way, simple way that you can analyze, you can like predict the market like that. You get it? It all comes with education. So, kindly educate yourself. Okay, there's no shortcut when it comes to this thing. Those people that you see them on the internet, some of them have done it for like 10 years. For me, I've done it like 6 years. I said 6 years, more than 6 years, close to getting to 7 years now. You get it? I've done it for a very long time. You get it? So if you are starting out, please educate yourself on this thing before you start. Don't, if you don't have education, don't be lied. No one should lie to you that you can find out or you can do it with no education. This is not like sporty bets, or it's not like the betting, sport betting. This is what fully what educative field. You need to educate yourself on this thing. So I'm going to be having a boot camp ending of this month. So if you are interested, it is not forced though, because you can't force everyone. So it's not, if you are interested, you join. If you are beginner, especially to the beginners, join. I have some people that they started this journey with nothing. Those who were kind of focused and humble decided to follow me. They've started seeing like how to, at least they've started predicting the market. I'm not going to say if the moment you join, you are going, everything is going to work for you. That's the mindset of some people. It doesn't work that way. I'm going to give you the blueprints. I'm going to show you what you need to look for when it comes to you what analyzing. Okay, then the rest is done on you. At least you will know that when you come to the market, this is the time frame you need to focus on. This is where you need to, the level you need to buy and sell. Okay, you find your way out on this thing. But I'm not going to say the moment you join, you start the, after the training you are going to start making money. It doesn't work that way. I'm not going to, if your mindset is like that, then please, you are getting it wrong. I'm going to give you the blueprint on what to look for. Okay, the things that you need to look for, how to even know where to buy, how to even know where to sell, the levels, how to identify the valid levels you need to buy. You can't buy at the any when price is moving and you just start buying at any what level of the market. It doesn't work that way. We have levels that it is safe for you to execute on. Okay, so those who are interested, at the end of this month you are going, but you can start booking your seats before the time is due. Okay, I stopped for some time, but I've brought it back. Okay, so if you are interested, you can join. To the begin, that's to the beginners. If you are a beginner, or even if you are kind of struggling, okay. For me, when it comes to the way I analyze the market, the accuracy is kind of like it's on point. Okay, so last week, for instance, I executed my first trade was on GBP JPY. The direction was on point. Eurocard, the direction was on point. Okay, and on Friday I executed on GBP, USD, and gold. The direction was on point. You get it? So I know what I look for when it comes to executing trade. I'm not saying I don't lose. I lose sometimes, but when it comes to the wins are more than the losses. Yeah. Any question? Yeah. What do you call? What's the name? Hope win. I'm listening to you, Mr. Coffee. Do you want to talk?
Boss, I want to add up to what you just said, okay? The whole thing is that I've been in this industry for not less than 5 years now, okay? And as I'm talking to you, I'm trading for a firm in Accra. I just want to stress on this, guys. If you are a beginner, at the beg, get a mentor. Pay the price and get a mentor. I did it when I was in first year in the tertiary. I was just doing this on myself. I was beating myself self up and down, you know, blowing account. I would just found $50 and I'll blow it. I would just found $20 and I'll blow it instead of me paying I paying for a mentor to teach me. It took me not less than 3 years myself up and down, and I was very frustrated. until I notice that I need a mentor. So I want to urge you. This is my first time of being on the call. I've been on your WhatsApp platform for some time now, but I've never spoken, and I don't know. I've never spoken, but I think today I needed to join this call as well. Okay, so my boss, you are really doing well, and I really appreciate that.
Thank
And
you.
I'm just urging you, all the beginners, that if you were a beginner here, it has nothing to do with get rich quick scheme. Pay the price, get a mentor, and it will save you from a whole lot of bullshit. Trust me. Thank
Yeah,
you very much, boss. I just want to add this one.
yeah, okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Um, let me learn. Let me learn my voice with my brother's voice. Please and please, indeed, in this industry, there's no shortcut. There's no magic. If you think there's a magic wand that will be given to you, and you just come around and make some abracadabra, or you do some open sesame, just forget about it. The key, the code is a mentor. I have my own experiences when it comes to losses. I have to find a mentor. I fought my way to get one. I'm telling you the truth. And that was when my eyes were open. It's not as if when they say the scale fall off your eyes, it has been like a veil, something covered. But a mentor, in contact with a mentor, the entire illusion was taken away. So let nobody deceive you on YouTube, sending of courses. Don't forget those stories of YouTube. They're all deception. Get a man. Somebody should hold you by the hand, walk you through the paths. This place is narrow. There are many roads, but it's very narrow. Not as wide as you think. It's simple. And they will make it simple for you when you have a mentor. But if you don't, my brother, you will continue to remain there, blowing account upon blowing account. Thank you so much, sir, for making
Yeah,
yourself available.
you're welcome. Yeah, so yeah, one thing too, a lot of people do after they've gotten a they've gotten someone they are learning from. What happened most often too is they kind of they stop they don't follow what the person is teaching them.
Become a take profit of this point, that'll be like making $40. That's great. I think let me try 1.0, one lot size. Let me see 1.0 lot size. Let me see how much I'm gonna be risking, then how much I'm gonna be making at the same
Hello,
time.
are you talking to us?
My buy right there, then set my take.
Yeah, so one thing a lot of people also do is what, as they've joined a course or they found a mentor, when the person is telling them to do this, they also start doing this. Okay, they do different thing from what the person is telling them, and that's what also what after some people join a course, they find it very difficult to also find consistency. Okay, so someone, especially those who join my training, I will tell you, I focus on H4 time frame. Do this, and you hear these people. Some people will say, "Oh, for me, I would have done it this way." You get it? I'm having experience on what time frame works. This is what works for me. You paid me because you want to learn from me. I've told you to do this, do this. The moment the mentorship ends, you see the person will start from maybe the 30 minutes, you start from 15-minute time frame. He has not what tested or he has not what experienced what the person told him about. You get it? That is also what a challenge or a problem for most people. Okay, when it comes to their consistency. So please, that one you need to pay attention to. It's not only about joining a mentor. Just make sure you are what putting it in practice what the person is telling you. Focus on the H4 time frame. You need to do that. Okay, at least test it for maybe 6 months before, if it's not working, then you start exploring new things. But if the person tells you do this, the 1 week time, maybe if you use it and you encountered one or two losses, then you stopped. That's not the best way. You get it? That's not the best way to find your feet in this thing. All right. So Hope Lane, Please, I'm listening to your question.
Makwesi,
Yes, sir.
yeah, I have a question. It has to do with how you deal with the losses that you encounter in your trading journey. How do you deal with it when you encounter a loss?
Yeah, so when I encounter a loss, it's part of the game. You get it. One thing you need to understand is what trading. The moment you start your trading week, one thing you need to understand. Just write this quote. Trading is a game of probability. That's why we mostly set stop loss. That's why we protect ourselves. You get it. So the moment you execute a trade, you understand the risks involved. It can go against you, it can go in your favor. You get it. But the beautiful part about the beauty part of trading is what the moment you put on trade, you can manage risks. So it is not something surprising to me because I've already set stop loss. I manage risks. I protected myself. Okay, I didn't risk the whole of my account on that trade. You get it. I'm trading some accounts, and that account I've traded it for like more than 2 years. The account is still there. You get it? The account is still there. So I understand the risks involved, but a lot of people don't understand the risks involved. So the moment if I lose a trade, I already know that it can go against me. So it's normal. Those times I used to be emotional about it. I think every trade should go in my favor. I just move on to the next trade. I'm not emotionally attached. You get it? I'm human being. Sometimes you'll feel like, oh, maybe you put in the work, you've analyzed, and the thing should go in your favor. One thing you need to understand: the market doesn't own you anything. Okay, you have no control on where the thing is going. No one has control on where the market is supposed to move. We come into the market, we manage our risks. If it goes in our favor, that's fine. If it fails, you move to another trade. Okay, so I'm not emotionally attached because I've managed my risks. I don't risk my whole account. Have you heard someone saying, oh, maybe risk 50% on your account, or maybe risk 100% of your account, unless maybe with the intention of flipping. Okay, maybe you are willing to lose the whole of account. So always make sure, I'm not going to say manage like maybe risk like 1%, risk like 2%, but risk an amount that you will be comfortable. It's not going to affect your finances, it's not going to affect you. Okay, risk something that you are comfortable, so you become very confident in your system. And even if you become confident in your system, you will still lose some time. At a certain point you will lose a trade. Okay, so for me, those times I used to be emotional with my losses, but now I just know that my system, because I've traded my system for a very long time. The moment I found out my system, I've traded it for a very long time, and I've noticed that what it works a lot of time. So I know that, oh, maybe this is just a market condition, so it's definitely going to happen again. But the moment you will become emotional when you don't have data backing your strategy. Because if I execute a pattern, okay, if I execute a pattern, I can what refer you to where the same pattern happened. You get me right? I can refer you to, or maybe if I'm trading break retest, there was what a lot of what times that I've traded break and retest. So when I lose a trade, one thing to that comforts me is what I go back to my what where I took that break and retest. I just go through the trades and what I did that gave me that wins, or if I trade a breakout, what I did, I have data backing it. So it is not surprising to me. So one thing that is going to tell, the one thing I'm going to tell myself is what it was just a market condition. Because I'll tell myself, you see, this trade you executed it, maybe GBP USD, the same thing happened, you executed, you won, but this time it has failed. It's just a market condition. Okay, so you become emotional. One thing too is what you become emotional when you have not witnessed or you've not experienced your pattern or your strategy for a very long time. That's when you start losing confidence. But for me, that I've executed that pattern for a very long time, I'm kind of cool with it because I've executed the same thing and it has played out. But this time it didn't play out because of what market condition. You get it? So I'm not, those times, as I said, I used to be emotional, kind of angry. I'm not moving forward, and but now it's cool. Okay, it's cool with me. It's part of. I will just be the moment I lose. I just search for what opportunity. So one thing that I wanted to address today too is what when you come to the market, if you are starting your trading day, one thing for it to help you to avoid over trading is what this is what you need to be doing. This is what you can do to avoid overtrading. Give yourself the number of chances. Okay, tell yourself how many times are you going to be risking? How many times are you willing to trade? So there was a research that says that what human being can make logical decision more than 2 times within a day. Okay, that's the logic. Okay, so have the time, the number of times you want to execute a trade. Maybe you want to execute trade 2 times, giving yourself chances. As I said, trading is a game of probability, it's a game of chances. So give yourself chances. You get it? Give yourself chances. Maybe if you come to the market Monday tomorrow, tell yourself, I'm going to give myself 2 chances. What Draft your trading system, your trading plan, everything. This is what I'm going to be looking for. This is what I'm going to be looking for. Give yourself chances, or maybe I'm going to give myself 2 chances. And what identify your risks. No, write down your risks. What percentage do you want to risk on your account, or what's the monitoring term you want to risk on your account? Okay, so when it comes to the percentage, maybe tell yourself, I want to risk for every trade, I want to risk 2%. That's cool, based on your risk appetite or what you love to risk. Okay, so maybe based on your risk appetite, I want to risk like 2%. Overall the day I want to risk 2%. So you apportion it on what the number of trades you want to take. So if 2 trades, I'm going to be risking 1% for every trade. If I lose the first trade, I'm going to what move to the second trade. If the second trade, so I lose, I call it a day. You come the following day. These things are going to help you to avoid you what exhausting your account or blowing your account. You get it? So give yourself chances, maybe 3 times within a day. Okay, the maximum shouldn't be four. Four is too much. Or you can, it's all about maybe with your 2%, you can split it, maybe give yourself more chances, maybe 5 chances. That's cool. Okay, and it's all too based on what your strategy too as well. Okay, how confident do you have on your what your system or your strategy? It's all also what it's also matters. You get it? So don't be emotional. The most important thing is what, for how long have you what experienced or observed your system playing out or your strategy playing out? If you don't have a strategy, that's when it becomes a problem. But for me, that I've experienced my system doing the same thing over and over again, I am kind of very confident in my system. So I'm not scared, I'm not emotional. Sometimes you are a human being. I'm not going to say I'm not like 100% detached. Sometimes you'll be what attached small, but I know how to control myself. I don't think about it. Those times I used to be thinking about it. I'm a failure, especially if you lose a trade and you move to IG, you see people winning, you become emotional. But now I don't give a damn about those things. I don't I know my system works. It's all about giving myself time. And if I lose today, within the week, I can get a winning trade to cover that. So I'm not bothered about it. So just the most important, what you have to yearn for is what? Work on your system, work on your strategy, gather data about it. Okay, gather data about it, and you are going to be very confident about it. And put it in your mind that trading is a probability. So don't be surprised. A lot of people get surprised when they don't understand the nature of the game. You get it? But if you understand the nature of the game, you are not going to be surprised.
Yeah, really stressed on
Are
that.
you okay?
Yes, please. Thanks for
Yeah,
the
so trading is a game
response.
of
Yeah.
probability. That's what you need to understand. Trading is a game of probabilities. It's a game of chances. So the trade that you are executing can be a loss. It can be a win. You have no control. The only thing you have control over is what? How to manage risks. What you'll be losing is what you have control, but where the market price is going to move, I have no control. You have no control. I trade based on my experience. You get it? The only difference between me and you is what? I have experience. Maybe I have long years experience than you, and I've witnessed or observed the market doing this particular patterns playing out more often. But that doesn't mean I know where the market price is going to go. You get it? So we are all what, guessing and speculating. Okay, we are all guessing and speculating, but I have more experience than you. That is the only thing that makes it different. But it doesn't mean I know where. No one knows where price is going to go. You get it? No one, no guru knows where price is going to go. If everyone knows, the person would have sold his house and bet on it. You get it? No one knows. So understand, okay, so that you won't be surprised. So it's like, let me bring this one into this thing. Maybe some people will go into relationship, or maybe they think, oh, this girl can't leave me, this boy can't leave me, and when the person misunderstanding comes and the person leaves them, it becomes surprise to them. The moment you understand that this relationship can just it can just go wrong, when it happens, you are not going to be surprised, because you've already predetermined that. You get it? You already predetermined that, so you are not going to be surprised. It's the same thing in trading. Understand that the trade you are executing can be a loss. You have less control. You don't have control over it. You get it? So don't be surprised when it goes against you. But that doesn't mean you are not going to work on your system. Work on your system to at least get a high win rate. Okay, no one is having 100% win rate. Okay, some months you can, some week you can get 100% win rate, but that doesn't mean it's going to continue forever. Losses are on its way coming. You get it? No matter what, you are going to experience losses. So factor this thing, and you are going to get clarity. You are not going to be surprised when a trade goes against you. You are going to be normal, because you already what predetermined risks. You set stop loss because you know the trade can go against you. If not, you wouldn't have even set stop loss. You would have even risked the whole of your account on it. There was no. That's why I gave a scenario that trading is all what about belief. It's about what. It's a game of uncertainties. All right. I hope you are clear with that.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Hope Lena. Hope Lena. I'm listening. Let me listen to Hope Lena. Hope
Yeah,
Lena.
good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Yeah, I'm still having problem, getting the entry at the 30 minutes. I don't know if you can go through or something.
Okay. Please a moment. I'm coming. Okay. You said entries.
Yes, please.
Okay. So when it comes to entries, there are a lot of factors, a lot of things you consider before you execute a trade. Okay. You have to first of all, when it comes to your trade execution, you have to first of all know the framework of the market, or your directional bias. You get it? Know your directional bias. So the directional bias is going to help you to know if you are going to take a buy or a sell. That's what a lot of people mostly find it difficult to know. Okay, if you come to the market and you don't know the directional bias, that's when you start, like, you are going to be at the wrong side of the market. So know the time frame you are going to decide your directional bias on. Okay, know the time frame. So for me, my directional bias, which is going to be the framework of what you are trying to do. So my directional bias is what? H4 time frame. This is the time frame. Some people can use H1 based on their experience, but for me, my directional bias, I decided from what the H1 to H4 time frame. So if the H4 time frame, let's say maybe with the directional bias to, I read the market by using market structure. Okay, the higher highs and higher lows. If it is what complex structure, I yeah, these are the things that I consider. So if the trend is what an uptrend, okay, if the trend is an uptrend, I have to decide on my entry. But when it comes to the entries, you decide on the time frame. So sometimes the my directional bias time frame can give me the entries. Okay, based on the length, the size of the candle. You get it? Based on the size of the candle. the H4 time frame can give me an entry, and sometimes to the M32 I can find it at H1, I can find it at M30. It depends on the condition of the market. You get it? So before I will execute a trade, I have to what find my reactional level. So what's the reactional level, which is the some people will call it key level or maybe support and resistance level. So my reactional level, what's my reactional level? Okay, so with the reactional level, I have to make sure those levels I determine, I'll identify, I bring them from what? The weekly, monthly, daily, H4 time frame. So if the directional bias is a buy, okay, I have to make sure I'm executing on this reactional level. So maybe these are the valid levels that price can what come back on it. Okay, so maybe if price is coming back on this level, that is where I'm going to decide either. So these are the levels that I'm going to execute on, either on this level or on these levels. These are the levels I'm going to execute on. You get it? So when it comes to my entries, as I'm saying, sometimes the H4 time frame can give me my entry. So with the entries, I can use market structure at the lower time frame, and sometimes too I can use candle confirmation at the hot H4 time frame. So as I'm saying, it's based on the market condition. So sometimes before I will execute a buy, let's say maybe if I'm executing, I'm taking the trade on the H4 time frame, I have to make sure if the candle confirmation, I'm using candle confirmation, then I have to see a bullish candle closure on this one. If the size of the candle is very small and it is not giving me a big stop loss, okay, because risk to reward also matters, so I have to make sure I'm getting a level which is going to give me a favorable what stop loss pips. You get it? If the pips is kind of high, okay, maybe if I'm trading currency GBP USD and it is giving me like 50 pips, it is very high. So I have to move to the lower time frames so that I will get maybe 15 pips, 10 pips. Stop loss pips is not rigid. It's some people will say, "Oh, I'm using 10 pips stop loss." It doesn't happen like that. It's based on the market condition. So if the size of the candle is very small, then I'll be comfortable executing on what the H4 time frame. That's fine. But if the size of the candle like has given me a wick like this, I will not love to execute on the H4 time frame. So that is what is going to trigger me to move towards the 30-minute time frame, the M15 H1 time frame. Then what I will look for what sometimes this is what we call exhaustion candle. So if I've joined my training before, I talk about exhaustion candle. This exhaustion, this is what buyers exhaustion candle. It tells you that what buyers have lost control and currently sellers are what bringing price down. You get it? Sellers are currently dominating. This is what the size of the candle. This is what this wicks means. It tells you that what buyers have lost control. So it's sellers are currently in control. So if you move to the lower time frame, one thing you are going to observe is what this is going to be what a bearish candles. Okay, this is going to be a bearish candle. This exhaustion or this wick, when you move to the lower time frame, it is what you call exhaustion candles. So this is what you are going to be seeing when you move to the lower time frame. You are going to be seeing a pullback. Okay, so with the pullback, what I have to do is what I have to wait for this pullback to come and come to what this level. Okay, this pullback to come to this level, then I'll look for an entry. But before it has pulled back on this level, I have to make sure what there was candle closing in my favor. You get it? There was a candle closing in my favor. So what candle, if I'm looking for a buy, what candle am I expecting it to close in my favor? A bullish candle closing in my favor, okay, before I will execute a buy. So something like this, if I see something like this, maybe at the lower time frame, H1 time frame, M30, then this exhaustion. So you see this exhaustion at the H1, H4 time frame. This is what you are going to be seeing at what the 30-minute time frame or the lower time frame. Then this is where I'm going to execute. Okay. So it is going to be a wick fill at the what? The what do you call it? The H4 time frame. You get it? So this is a way of what entering the market. This is another way. So as I'm saying, either the H4 candle give you a small wick that your stop loss pip is going to be okay, that's fine. But if the stop loss wick is very high, then I'm going to move towards. If the wick is very high, then this exhaustion is going to be a pullback at the lower time frame. So I'll use the what I'll use the M30, okay, candle closure in my favor, then I'll execute. Or sometimes if I check the time of the day and I notice that we have volume, especially maybe 7 p.m., the moment the candle will what, even if it hasn't closed, this one that I'm talking about is when the candle has closed. But if you have volume in the market, and let's say maybe London open, New York Stock Exchange open, maybe 1 o'clock, 1:30 p.m. What I'm going to be taking aggressive entries. So the aggressive entry is going to be the moment the candle breaks the previous high. So if you have attended my training before, I talk about candle structures. Okay, with candle structure, for you to know that candle is going to continue uptrend, if it's an uptrend, it should break the previous high. Okay, then it will tell you that candle is trending up. So the moment an ongoing candle will break the previous candle high, I'm going to execute a buy. Okay, I'll place my stop loss below the previous candle low. Okay, this is an aggressive trade. Okay, and we have, because the reason is what, when you have volume in the market, what's going to be happening is what, like you can miss the trade. Okay, you can miss the trade. For you not to miss the trade, as I'm saying, I do that when I consider those volume in the market, like maybe 7 a.m., that's lendings. Okay, volume in the market before I will execute. Because if you don't do it that way, because of the volume, the pressure in the market, the high activities in the market, price can move before you, and the waiting is going to be in vain. So I execute small position. When the candle close, pulls back comfortably, then I execute the rest. But this is a high risk trade. When the candle is in session and you execute, it's a high risk trade. So I don't do that on any other time frame than maybe the M30 time frame. That's where, because it's also a stronger time frame. Okay, that's where mostly I do those things over there. Are you okay with that?
Today I was doing a setup on trading view on BTC, but I realized that the candles on my trading view are different from the one on the Meta 5.
So that means that you have not watched the videos, and you told me you've watched the videos.
I've watched.
You've not watched, because I
Oh,
explained this
I've
thing. I explained it very well during the training. So if you have watched, or if you really paid attention to what the videos, you would have understood what the explanation I gave during that time when something of that sort happened. But because you didn't you didn't take your time to watch to the end, because I explained
Uh,
that.
I, I remember that during the training, you said when we want to do the execution at the MetaTrader 5, we shouldn't observe the candlestick. We should just go to the execution and execute.
You get
I
it.
remember
Yeah.
during the training,
Exactly
that's
what
what I
I
said.
said. So I even showed you the broker you need to use when you are using the trading view. I showed you the broker you need to use when you are using the trading view. I use a wonder. You get it. So Hope Lina, you didn't watch. So you need to just,
I watched. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I
so
if that's
how come you didn't, because this person too also watched the video. How come the person heard it? This person wasn't part of the training. He watched the video. How come the person and this got this thing and you didn't get it if you have watched to the end?
it can happen.
All right. So what I'm saying is, when don't watch the MetaTrader 5, your the MetaTrader 5. Okay, don't watch it. Use your trading view for analysis. When you go to your broker platform, mostly the higher time frame candle structures are different from brokers because of the times that because of where most of the brokers are located. You get it. So their daily candles, the higher time frame market structure is different from each other. You get it. So I recommended a broker for you. I said use a wonder when you are analyzing on your trading view. Use a wonder. Uh, don't use XM Global. Use a wonder for your analysis. When you go to XM Global, what you are going to do is what, when you get there, just execute buy or sell. Okay, execute buy or sell. Don't watch the chart over there. So if you come here, if you go to Forex, if you go to Forex, so you see AUD card, you're having different brokers from there. Owanda, Eurocard, Owanda, you're having Forex.com. All these ones are what brokers. Owanda, FX, Binance. These are all brokers. Binance, are they having? Okay. These are all FX brokers. So you see FX broker, FXCM, Owanda, FXCM. These are all Forex brokers. Okay, so maybe EVP USD. So you see, yeah, they are all forex brokers. You get it? They are all forex brokers. So when you come here, when it comes to currencies and commodities, I use Owanda. Okay, I use this broker. Are you okay with it now?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Please let me end with him.
Yeah.
With her. Please, are you okay with it? Are you okay?
Yes. And I wanted to ask, so do we have to do the analysis like daily or every week since price changes?
Every time you are executing a trade, you need to analyze. So for me, if I'm about to execute, because it is money that money on the line, you get it, so I have to make sure I'm making the right decision. So it takes me less than a minute to analyze the market. You get it takes me less than a minute, even before I will sleep. If maybe Monday even before I will sleep, I will mostly analyze the high probability trade setups, ones that maybe I have a high hope of it playing out. So when I wake up and maybe it's kind of aligned, what I will do is what if I notice that maybe it have high chances of playing out, I will clear the chart again and analyze it again to be sure. Okay. Yeah, so if you master, if you can't explain, if you can't simplify or explain your strategy within or less than a minute, then you don't know your strategy much. Okay, so for me, if you meet me on the street, you ask me, "Oh, I've heard you trade the financial market. What's your system? What do you look for in a trade?" Less than a minute, can explain all my setups, what I look for in a trade. You get it? What I look for in a trade. So yeah, so if you know your system very well, it shouldn't take you more than a minute for you to analyze. It shouldn't take you more than a minute for you to analyze. If it takes you if you it takes you a long time for you to analyze, then you've not traded your system for a very long time, or you don't know it much. Okay, so you need to know your system ins and out, what you look for in a trade. You get it? What you look for in a trade, so that you will not find it difficult when you are analyzing. You find it you see it to be a work when you analyze. Are you okay? So I analyze every single time I'm executing a trade. So I don't have this. If I see that this instrument is a high chances or a high probability trade, what I do is what I analyze again before I will execute. That's what I do. Hope Lena, are you
Okay.
okay? You don't have a question again?
Yes. No, no.
Okay. So if anything, you can chat me up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. With this Owanda thing, um, do you need to sign up before you can use, or when you
Nah.
just click it?
Yeah, when you click it.
Because I was using it at first I was using it, but now when I do it, it says it takes me to sign up or whatever,
Yeah,
and
maybe
I
trading
thought,
view. Maybe trading view.
yeah, it's trading view I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
so when it happens like that, just close the tab and open the tab again. Just close,
Which time?
just close. Maybe if you are using desktop, just close it and open it again. If you see
Oh,
if
okay.
those things are being displayed on the chat, just close it and open it again.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any question again? Okay, so Let me say this thing, especially this thing is for the beginners and the like. If you have not found what you need to know, please don't be doing things randomly in the market. Okay. Other than that, it's going to be very difficult for you to track your progress. Kindly find a system. Like as I the moment I understood this thing, things like it started making sense to me. Kindly know what exactly you look for when you come to the market. Okay. Kindly know exactly what are the things that you're going to consider. So me, when the market opens, everything that I do is based on what when I come I focus on, or maybe identifying my reactional levels on the high time. When I come to my directional bias, these are the things that I consider. If it is an uptrend, I consider simple structure. If the trend is an up, then what I look for key levels. Okay, then I execute. I'm looking for a buy. This is an uptrend. If it's a downtrend, I look for this one. Okay. If the trend is a downtrend, I look for what? A sell. These are the things. And when the trend is what? If it's a complex structure, something like this. Okay. Sometimes I can see something like when I see something like this, I'm going to be looking for what? A buy. You get it? I'm going to be looking for a buy or something like this too. I'm going to be looking for what? A sell. So these patterns have been printed. I've printed these things in my mind. You get it? So anytime I come to the chart, okay, if I'm breaking down all the trades that I took last week to you, you'll notice that they follow this pattern. So this is my game plan. Okay, and when it comes to the what time frame am I looking for these things? H4 time frame. These are my directional time frame. Okay, these are my time frames that some people can't be patient to wait for H4 to for things to align. But when it comes to me, these are the time frames that I look for what my trades, I look for my executions. Sorry, I look for my directional bias. This is the time frame that I follow the trend from. Okay, so these are the things. So this one, when it happens like this one I'm going to be looking for what? A buy. Okay, this one I'm going to be looking for what? A sell. You get it? So this is the pattern that I follow. This is my game plan. So if you come to the market and you don't have a game plan, it's going to be very difficult. So to the beginners in trading, this is what we do for us to be successful. You get it? This is what we do in trading for us to be successful. You need to have a game plan. Okay. So during the training, I'm going to be talking about all these things. I'm going to show you my game plan, the things that I consider. Okay. The things that I consider before I will execute a trade. So let me show you. Last week, the trade that I executed, my first trade was on GBP card. What did I even see? So if you look at the patterns that I was talking about, you notice that the pattern was in play over here. Okay, trading is all about pattern recognition. That's what you need to understand. Okay, that's what you need to understand. So this is where I executed my first trade on last week. What did I see before I even executed this trade? I did my top-down analysis, identify my valid and the invalid levels. Okay, I identify my valid and the invalid levels. So this is we had what a resistance level over here. Mostly those levels should be close to what your reactional levels. Okay, sorry, it should be close to the current market price. So we had a level over here. So this is the only level that I think it's valid for me to identify. If I move to the lower time frame over here with the lower time, sorry, the weekly time frame, these are my valid levels. There was another valid level over here. So then I'll move to the daily time frame. With the daily time frame, I identify my various levels. So you notice that we had a level over here. Okay, mostly I change the colors with each of the time frames. Okay, so yeah, those are the levels over here. If you move to the H4 time frame, yeah, so this is where I will identify the directional bias. You see my game plan. This is where I will identify the directional bias. I trade within the zones. Okay, zone to zone. The market mostly moves to zone to zone. The moment it will get to a reactional level or support or resistance, one thing you need to understand that what the market is going to what consolidate, or it's either going to break out. It will take some time before it will take a decision. So when it is taking time to make the decision, I also what I'm either going to take my profits, or if I want to execute, I'm not going to even bother to execute. You get it? So the market got to this level. So you notice that we had a reactional level from this side, another reactional level over here. So this is a key level. So I've noticed price is currently what? An uptrend. So if you can remember, the patterns that I drew One is playing out over here. This is a complex structure. Market made high. It's made high over here, pulled back over here. Okay, you notice the pattern that I drew, that I said I will be looking for a buy. This is the pattern I'm not finding. Was it on Nasdaq? Yeah, so this is where these are the patterns that I indicated. Oh, it's not this one. Okay, I'm not seeing it. Yeah. So this is the pattern. So you notice where I said I will be looking for a buy. So this is the pattern I said I will be looking for a buy. And you notice that the same pattern happened on GBP JPY last week. So you see the pattern that I was talking about. It just maybe made higher highs and higher lows. When it got here, it just made higher low. It made high. It was the same pattern that I indicated over there. So this is where I'm going to be looking for a buy. This is where the entry will play out. This is where the entry is going to play out. You get it. So you see now the candle has broken above these zones. Okay, when price was over here, I didn't bother to what execute because this is a reactional levels. What's going to happen if price is on support or resistance levels? What's going to happen is what we can price can what price is going to suffer or struggle to break out from these levels. So what I did is what I waited patiently for the candle to break above this one. Then I looked for what I look for a buy. You get it? So this is where I'm going to be looking for a buy. You get it? This is where I'm going to be looking for a buy. So the first trade over here, price came back. Okay. Price came back over here. Yeah, price made a deep pullback. Yeah. So this is where the second trade was taken. You get it? This is where the second trade was taken. So place your stop loss below the candle, targeting this level. But price even moved beyond the level. You get it. So this is where you see as price go to the target, you see what happened. Price was consolidating, struggling. You see later made a pullback before it broke out from the zone. You get it. So this is my game plan. Less than a minute, I've been able to know what I'm going to be looking for. So if you are here and you don't have a game plan, forget about success in trading. Okay, unless you have found what you go for. Okay, so if time is at our side, I would have broken down maybe the GBP USD2, why I even took that buy on GBP USD2 as well. You get it? Why I even took that buy on, I took a buy over here on GBP. Yeah, this buy, I took a buy over here. So if you don't have a game plan, please kindly sit down and what? And try and find a game plan. Okay, so those who are interested in joining the bootcamp, you are going to start next month. Okay, so you can book your seats and you can, so you're going to be having session like this every single day for 16 days. You get it? For 16 days every evening you are going to be having sessions like this where you can come around. If I'm explaining a concept and you don't understand, you come around and what you ask, or you ask me, why am I saying this, why am I doing this? Okay, then you come around with your questions and answers. Okay, so if you are a beginner and you don't have a system or you don't have a strategy, or even if you have your strategy and your strategy kind of giving you more losses, and you want to what find a proper way of what reading the market, then I think that's the time. This is the time. Okay, yeah. So those who are interested can book their seats. All right. So any question again? If there was no question, any question? So we can call it a day. Okay. All right. So this week I might surprise some of you. So let's keep on holding. How much is the registration? So it's $60. The registration is $60. Please, can you talk about SMC? Yeah, so I don't trade SMC. I don't know what they do over there. What I trade is what I read the direction of the market. I take my trade on support and resistance levels. That's what I do. I don't know anything about SMC, ICT. So you have 2 weeks, and with the training too, you can pay it as the classes. You can make a deposit. Okay, and as the class is ongoing, to you plan or you prepare to pay the rest. So it's not like you pay it. It's not an upfront payment. It's not you pay before. Like you can make half deposits, or as the class has not even started. If you are serious to be part, you have 2 weeks. That yeah, in the middle of the month. I posted it earlier for. I gave a time so that people can prepare. Okay, so you can be making small deposits till the class starts, and as the class is ongoing too, you can be making deposits. So if you are serious to join, I think you have a flexible payment plan for that. Okay, you have flexible payment plan, so you can be making plan to pay gradually. All right, so if there's no question, any question for me? If there's no question, then
Wonderful one, sir. I need to appreciate you for your kind heart.
yeah.
And I expect that everybody who have been following you on this section should appreciate what you have revealed and show, except they don't understand what you have been saying. And conclusively, when you said that I don't know anything about SMC and ICT, all I know is that I follow the direction of the market and I trade from support and resistance. It sounds simple. It sounds too easy. It seems as if is that all. You know, when it is too simple, we don't like it. We will like it when it is complex.
Yeah.
Use all the terminologies,
But
the
you see something,
grammatical.
sorry for cutting you. Today I was watching one video, and it was on this ICT concept. And I watched the video, the person was breaking down chat. I watched the video to the end. And one thing I noticed, it is the same thing as break of structure, it's the same thing. But they've brought some names to confuse people. Watching to the end, I noticed that this person trades similar, the same thing as the same thing that I look for in a trade is the same thing that these people are saying in SMC. Is the same thing as break of structure. Is the same thing.
You see the simplicity you used just now when you were when you check around price breaking out and coming to make a retest. I was just looking at it. I said, if anybody is sincere with you in this market, like you said, if in 1 minute you cannot tell us your system, how you trade this market, then forget about it. Is anybody you can trust and follow and give your money and time is somebody like him talking here, because in 1 minute you get it all. In just 1 minute. It's as simple as that. But what brings you here is a process. And that's part of the boot camp he's talking about. So it's something that you have to register for, because there are key things you must build from, like 1 to 3, A to the particulars and alphabet. It's not automatic. This thing is a system. But by the time it is fully built on you, you will see it as simple as ABC or letters or 1, 2, 3. That's the important thing here. But I think I want to appeal to every one of you here. When you've taken as a mentor, please follow every instruction. If it is too simple, still follow it. The important thing is not the name. It's not how simple it is or complex it's supposed to be. The important thing is it printing profit for you? Is it making money for you? Are you winning trades? Can you cash at least good number of pips on the asset you are trading? That's what is important. So this is a sincere and open-minded mentor you should follow. For me, I will say again and again, choose to be part of the boot camp and you will not regret it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So thank you all. And yeah, so within the week, maybe I'll start my live stream within the week. So expect me on the YouTube channel where you will do live trading too as well. Yeah, so see you maybe on Tuesday. I'll come around on YouTube. So I'll share if I'm live, I'll share the link to you all. All right. So good night, everyone. See you. Bye.
Yeah, good night, sir. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.